time. That's right. Travis Thomas here with the walking, talking, triple-double himself, Brandon Ountae Campbell. How you doing, man?
I'm good. It's good to see you. It's been a minute,
It feels good to be here. I feel like I'm home. Reunited, and it feels so good. Come on. Oh, that's smooth. That's smooth. That boy got vocals. You know what we should do?
What?
We should go to karaoke.
No.
Why not?
You can embarrass yourself. I'm good. They don't
Wait,
make,
you don't sing at karaoke?
They don't make songs from a voice as deep as mine, dog.
You
Not
do have
anymore.
a deep voice.
Not anymore.
You're like the dude in Boys and Men. He sang, but really he would talk to you, baby. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You could do that.
I can do that.
So wait, you don't do like karaoke?
I haven't in a while.
So you have?
Yeah, that was like high school, dog.
Oh, it was a long time.
No, I did it in college. Right after I finished college, I did it. That was it.
We got to bring this back.
We'll talk about it.
All right, well, we'll talk offline. As far as online here and Hold My Banner, I want to get into this Anfernee Simons thing because everything I see surrounding the Celtics is he's the next to go, right? And we have some trade proposals here that we want to get into. They're actively, here you see the tweet, they're actively trying to trade Anfernee Simons. Okay, no issue there. But I do want to have the conversation. If you can't find a suitor, if you can't find a dance partner, we're talking about karaoke. Yeah. What if you can't find a trade partner, a dance partner here with the Celtics? What would life with Anfernee look like? Yeah. Because, look, it's hard for me to talk about the Celtics and not look at the totality and not look at the roster. Outside of Derek White, outside of Jaylen Brown, I don't feel real good about any of it. Now, even Peyton Pritchard, who we'll get to later, him as my starting point guard. I love him as a sixth man. Who doesn't? Yeah. But as my starting point guard. So as I look at Anfernee Simons, I just don't necessarily think he fits with what this team has done that we've seen in recent years. Obviously, the championship season comes to mind. What does a world with him look like if you can't move him?
Yeah, I think it's important to note that, we've had some commenters come in and say, well, he's not this good of a defender and he's not this good of a team guy and all this other stuff.
Oh, like he's selfish?
And that may be true, right? And that may be true. But I think what it would look like immediately is guys like Jaylen Brown, guys like Derek White taking this guy under their wing because they're a little bit older than him, you know what I mean? Not to be like he needs a vet because he doesn't need a vet at this point.
But he would respect a Jaylen Brown doing that.
A Derek White doing that. Champions now, you know what I'm saying? Guys who have, come from, smaller beginnings.
The culture.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't always pretty for Jaylen Brown here in Boston, you know what I'm saying? Right. It was the same thing. Not always pretty for Anfernee Simons in Portland. So, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, hey, we understand the past. Yeah. It's time to look forward to the future. We're going to need you to buy in a little bit more on the defensive end. Yeah. And we're going to show you what it takes to win a championship.
I think that's fair. So, all right, you said the comments have rolled in that he's selfish.
Yeah.
Have you heard? I have not heard that about him. Now, he's not the caliber of player where I guess you would hear scuttlebutt around him here in Boston. You're not going to hear about Portland stuff. So I'm not taking anything away if people are in the comments saying that, especially Blazer fans. They would know better than us. Right. But I haven't heard anything that he's a selfish guy. Have you heard that?
Well, to be fair, that commentator or those commenters aren't Blazers fans. They just live in Portland. But I haven't heard anything about that. And, I have some ear.
That's what I'm saying. Have you heard that about him? I haven't heard anything.
And I haven't heard anything about him being a bad teammate or anything like that. Right. I've heard that he's quiet. I've heard that he's like a little bit like Jaylen Brown, where he kind of does things on his own when he's not on the court with the team. Okay. But, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? It's just that he, I just think up there in Portland, they've had a rotation of players throughout his career there. I mean, how could he ever get that close or, that comfortable with anybody?
Yeah, I respect their fan base, so I don't want to be disrespectful here. Because I think I know a couple Blazers fans. They're great fans. Yeah. And the Blazers are an institution there in that town. Yeah, 100%. I understand that. It's a good soccer town, too. But, look, It's the Blazers. I'm sorry. There are levels to this in terms of franchises and in terms of culture. So what you were speaking to is true. Yeah. But you're speaking of individuals. Jaylen Brown, Derek White. True. Yes. But also the Celtics.
Fit with the Celtics. I think offensively, automatically, that.
Yes. It's an upgrade.
No question about it. Offensively, he can shoot the ball. Yes. This dude's going to get him up. He's going to make 40% from three. He's going to get a lot of great looks playing with this Celtics team and all this other stuff. It's the defense that worries me. And that's the part where it's like, all right, he has to make some improvements. Yeah. Can Mazzulla coach to the ability that the Boston Celtics believe that he can? Yes. And can he get this kid up to speed on the defensive end and get him to buy in and have improvements like we saw with Sam Hauser, like we saw with Peyton Pritchard under Joe Mazzulla's reign?
Who's protecting the rim? I mean, is that a fair question or not? Because of course it is.
And we'll talk about that.
And we'll get to the point guard position. We'll get to the center position. Yes. Let's get to some trade proposals.
Yes.
For Anfernee. The first one is from Barely Bassett of Clutch Points.
Yep.
So walk us through this one for Anfernee Simons to the Grizzlies, correct?
So this is a 3-team trade that we see here in front of us. The Grizzlies will receive Simons in cash consideration from the Nets, luckily not from Boston.
Okay.
The Celtics will receive Brandon Clarke, John Karchar, and 2 second-round picks from the Grizzlies, and the Nets will receive G.G. Jackson.
I don't hate this one.
Okay.
Brandon Clarke I like. I don't know. I like the draft picks too. Yeah. Second rounders though.
Yeah. The Celtics lost 2 from the.
Yeah, that's right. So you'd recoup.
So you would get those 2 back.
I don't hate this trade. I kind of feel like you're leaving some meat on the bone, though. Mm-hmm. I think I want a little bit more here. But if this were to happen, and obviously they are trying to move him.
Yes.
They're actively trying to move him. Yes. So if this is a trade, I wouldn't be upset by it. I kind of feel like and we're going to go through some more deals.
Yeah.
I feel like there's probably better deals to be had around this league. Is that fair for me to feel that way?
It is fair for you to feel that way. I think that the upside for John Konchar at this point in his career, he's 28. He's not really shooting the 3. He should be probably shooting the 3 at his size and his ability. I feel like he does have touch. Yeah. He's shown the ability to make free throws now here in the later part of his career, over an 80% free throw shooter. So if you have that kind of touch when you're getting to the line and getting opportunities to make them and you're making them, I feel like even though it's a low attempt, I'm looking at it right here, you know what I mean? He's only shooting 1.3 a game, but he's shooting 37% from 3, you know what I'm saying? So this is a guy that could be a 3-point shooter and probably should be. I feel like they can do an opposite kind of effect of what they've done to what Luke Kornet's career went from being a shooting big to a non-shooting big. If they can have that opposite effect and make him more of a shooting big and lean into this shooting aspect, I like it. I played against Brandon Clarke. I've talked about that on Hold My Banner before. I think he's a great player.
I like him.
He plays hard.
Yeah.
It's the health thing with him, which is always the question.
I like his ceiling.
But he plays hard. He rebounds. He does a lot of the dirty
They need
work.
all of the things he would bring, but you need him healthy.
Yes.
You need him healthy.
I would love that.
So we don't hate this trade. We like what the Celtics, we like what the Celtics would get back.
Yes.
The Grizzlies obviously would get Simons.
Yes.
And per use, the Nets were fleeced. G.G. Jackson.
G.G. Jackson's a good player. Don't disrespect. All right.
I'm going to. Okay, here's another one.
Yes.
Okay. I like this one, Ountae. How about this? Proposed trade. Celtics receive, this is who I want, right there. Vucevic, and a 2029. This drives me nuts, the future years. 2029 second-round pick for Anfernee Simons. Who says no? Not me, okay? This is the one I want. I'm such a Vuce fan and have been for years. He's a career double-double.
Yeah.
Now, he's old as all hell. He is old as dirt now. Is he 35?
He's a dinosaur,
He's old. And even his style is kind of, no one really plays like that at the center position anymore-ish. But I don't care. Like, have you seen the front court for this Celtics team right now as it stands?
Yeah.
Give me Vuce. I mean, what are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He averaged 19 points and 10 boards last year for a trash Bulls team.
Right.
I mean, he's been on several trash Bulls teams.
Yeah.
Okay, so sign me up. Because what you have right now in the front court ain't enough. It ain't even close. So this is a guy I can plug and play, double-double. There's some contractual things here. So right now, technically, he's cheaper than Simons.
Yeah.
But he only has 1 year remaining, okay? So I guess I'm using air quotes when I say he could be a rental.
Yeah.
But I think the finances work out in your favor, and if you can get him here.
Yes.
He feels the city. He feels the culture. He's playing with a Jaylen Brown and a Derek White, and he knows Jason Tatum's coming.
No way, yeah.
Hey, Vuce, take a little less.
Yeah.
Stay here. You've been a loser your whole career, and I don't believe you individually are a loser.
Yeah.
You've just been losing. You've been in loser franchises. At this advanced stage of his career, at his age, why wouldn't you take a bit of a pay cut? Right?
Right.
And be on a potentially winning team and spend the end of your career winning titles.
Yeah.
I love this trade. Sign me up for this one now.
Yeah, here's the thing. I understand that you love it, but I don't.
Why?
And the thing is, growing up, kid from Los Angeles, USC fan growing up originally. I watched this dude at USC ball out. I followed him along his career because he was a USC alumni. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about Vucevic that I've always loved about him is that he can score, he can rebound, he can do those things. But he's never been a part of winning basketball. He's never.
Is that his fault?
He's partially, yeah. It's because the NBA has changed. Like you said, that style of basketball is gone. You need guys who are going to be above the rim, blocking shots, who can switch pick and rolls, or at least if they're in drop coverage, I know, hey, this guy's going to block a shot or get a rebound for me, and we're going the other way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This guy has never shown us the ability to do that. Like you said, it's a rental, so we're taking a flyer. We're already taking a flyer on young guys. We're taking a flyer on Mari Williams. We're taking a flyer on Luka Garza. We're taking a flyer on all of these young guys, right? And Tillman might even end up getting major minutes at this point, and they never wanted to play him last year. You know what I'm saying?
I still don't.
So my only issue with that is, I don't see him being. You said, hey, where's the rim protection? Talking about an Anfernee Simons.
He ain't gonna give you much.
And he ain't giving us that.
He's offensive. Like I said, I think the term I used was kind of plug and play. Well, I mean from that position.
Right.
There's not enough offense
at all
right now.
Right now.
So from that position, he's plug and play.
Yes.
I know I'm getting a double-double. I know here he's gonna if he averaged 19 and 10 as an old man with the Bulls, I can at least pencil him in for that.
Yeah.
And they need that. Now, I agree with you.
I want winners in the building.
I agree with you there. But listen, we said this about Anfernee Simons. We have to be fair to Vuce, too. Maybe, just maybe, being around winners helps.
Yeah.
I need more. We talked about this with Simons.
Yeah.
I need more defensively from Vuce, but that's Joe Mazzulla's problem.
But this 15 years. We're talking about a dude who's been in the league for 15 years versus a guy who's been in the league for 6. You know what I mean?
All right.
So that.
Okay. Let's power rank so far.
Okay.
I like this trade way more than the Grizzlies trade.
Yeah.
You like the Grizzlies trade more?
I do like the Grizzlies trade.
Okay. All right. Yes. We have one more. Yes. This from Sadat Gupta from Fadeaway World. Fadeaway.
Yeah. All right.
Look at this one, Tay.
Okay. Yeah. So we got DeMar DeRozan here, getting the opportunity to come to Boston and learn how to win. If we're talking about guys who need to figure out the opportunity to win. And then Simons is going to the Kings, where they're also getting the 2027 first-round pick from the Celtics and a 2031 second-round pick.
2031? What the hell are we doing? What is this, Back to the Future? 2031?
Yeah. So how do you feel about this one, dog?
Can I preface my comments by saying I'm a DeMar.
I'm nervous.
I'm a DeMar DeRozan fan.
Don't disrespect Compton.
I also respect.
Don't disrespect Compton.
I love Los
so many
Angeles.
USC players on here.
It's true. That is true. I love Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I don't want no parts of DeMar DeRozan at this stage of his career. Yeah. I don't. He is what he is. Now, it's weird because I just said I'm a big fan of Vuce, and he ain't changing either.
Right.
But I think there's more of a need for what he provides.
Right.
DeRozan, you might be the mid-range GOAT. Honestly. You might, Kobe, you're in that category for mid-range.
Yeah.
I love his game. I'm such a big fan.
Yeah.
He is old.
Yep.
There are so many miles on him.
Yep.
He has been a part of so many iterations of a big three or a piece here, or you just need one guy here to get you over the hump, except he hasn't won Jack Schneikes in his whole career. I don't want DeMar DeRozan. Flat out. Like, I don't. If I'm going to make, if I'm going to roll the dice here, okay, I'd much rather get a big man than just another wing who, with a mid-range game, he doesn't shoot threes. Like, it just, I guess that's what it is. The fit doesn't, I'm a fan of his, but the fit here doesn't work. Is that fair or am I being harsh?
That is completely fair. I'm right there lockstep with you, because here's my thing about DeMar DeRozan, right? Like you said, mid-range killer.
He's a goat.
Basket getter supreme, clutch. All the things that you want from a two guard, right? Yeah. But he doesn't shoot the three.
No.
And defensively, he's kind of fallen off a little bit.
He's older.
And he's been stuck in all of these backcourts with guards that do a lot of the similar things that he does. Yeah. He's a great facilitator. He learned how to facilitate when he got the opportunity to play under Popovich in San Antonio. Yep. And he's been great at doing that, and some teams have tried him out at point guard-ish, and he's been really the half-court point guard, because even when you talk about the first years in Chicago, when he played with Lonzo Ball was really kind of a fast break point guard. Yeah, he was. And then DeMar DeRozan was kind of their half-court, set up the offense, blah, 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 facilitator off, because they had the opportunity to pair him up with Zach LaVine and the scoring and all the other stuff, and we saw it didn't work, right? Right. My thing here in Boston is, if you put him alongside with a JB, I mean, JB's a good shooter. He's a good shooter, and he's approved. But they do a lot of the similar.
JB does it better, but they do the same.
Of course, at a higher level, 100%. And this guy won Finals MVP. We're not going to disrespect. But it's just not the fit.
It's not a good fit.
I think that he can go somewhere else and help another contending team. I really do.
I do, too.
I just don't think it's Boston.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of where, though. Because, again, kind of the same conversation with Vuce, you got to be able to shoot the three consistently now. Yes. Mid-range is important, and it's always there. Yeah. Like, he can get in the mid-range and get a bucket against, I don't give a damn who it is. Right. But, you have to be able to shoot nowadays. Yeah. And as you said, as he gets older, his defense is falling off a bit. I just don't know where it works. I don't know where is a good fit for him. And by the way, times are hard around here right now with Tatum. We're waiting for him to get back and all these bills being due, and we're losing all these guys. But the Celtics just got a ring 5 minutes ago, right? And we know Tatum's coming, and times are going to be great again here shortly. Yeah. If you're a Kings fan, I mean, I'm sorry. Oh, man. I'm sorry for your loss. Yeah. Because it is over. I mean, what do you have to hang your hat on? Sabonis will be gone in 5 minutes. Yeah. DeRozan's being shopped. Yeah. De'Aaron, you couldn't give him enough money to stay. Right. They tried to give him all the money in the world.
Tyrese Halliburton almost won
they blew that. MVP. They blew that. They blew that. That's on them.
But I'm just saying, Kings fans as a whole.
But Kings fans, they've been through a lot, bro. Dog. I'm sorry, Kings fans. I mean, for the two of you that are out there, I apologize. I'm taking a lot of shots today. Yeah. All right, so here's the deal. Okay. Power ranking. Yep. I want Vuce. That's number one for me. Yeah. I like the Grizzlies trade second with Brandon Clarke in them. Yeah. And then I want no parts of it. Feels so icky for me to say that I don't want DeMar DeRozan as a fan of his, but that's last for me. Yeah. I think we just flip-flop on 1 and 2, right?
1 and 2, yeah. I would rather have the Grizzlies trade, but that's it.
All right, I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that's fair. Yeah. All right, still to come here on Hold My Banner. Let me be clear here. If you are really tall, can walk, and chew bubble gum at the same time, can you please come play center for the Celtics? Please. No? Okay, fair enough. We'll get into maybe who could next, right here on Hold My Banner.
Resigning Al Horford would be a priority. Is that still a priority to you guys at this point?
I don't know what I can say about this or not say about it. I mean, we made offers to both Luke and Al. We would love to have had both of them back. I'd say that's unlikely. And, the only reason I haven't talked about Al is because that's not final. I could probably talk about Al my whole press conference and not say enough. But, I don't want to speak in absolute terms until an ultimate decision is made.
Oh, Brad Stevens, say it ain't so. But it's clearly so. Al Horford's not coming back. We all kind of assumed that would be the case. Yeah. But hearing it there, I want to give credit to Brad Stevens, though, before we get into this. Okay. I mean, listen, he sits up there. He is as transparent as it comes. Yeah. Like, he literally led with saying, I don't know what I can and can't say. Yep. But he still brought us into the conversations. They obviously made an offer to Al that's below what Al believes he should be getting. But that's because that's the only offer they can make to Al because the money's funny right now. Right. But I mean, listen, you and I talked about Luke Kornet getting the bag from the Spurs. And I'll never forget when he got that bag, we were both very happy for him. Thank you for the ring. Thanks for the contributions.
Yeah.
Ain't no damn way, if you had the money, you were paying that for Luke Kornet.
No.
Okay, so good for you to go to the Spurs, get your bag, and you're on a good team.
100%.
We were happy for him.
Yeah.
Al feels different to me. I dream of a world where Al would take a pay cut, stay here, just for when Tatum comes back, and you can kind of run this thing back. Like a 2-3 year deal. I know. I said I dream.
Okay.
It's a dream.
Yeah.
A brother can dream.
Yeah.
I know it's not going to happen.
You're dreaming wild right now.
I know, but I'm saying I do dream of that.
Yeah.
I wish there was a world in which he loved it here so much that he was just like, you know what? I want to be here for when Tatum comes back and make another run at this thing.
Yeah.
Now, what we're hearing rumor-wise with Al makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Retirement or the Warriors.
Yeah.
I get it. If he goes with Steph, I'm not even upset with that. I'd probably do the same thing in his role.
Yeah.
But somebody's got to play center. This front court right now as a whole, Ountae, oh my God. It is the struggle bus.
Yeah.
And the whole front court is driving it.
Yeah. No, I mean, you look at what the Celtics did this offseason, and you knew, okay, they're making some deals to get under the apron. They were making deals to get under the apron.
You have to.
Were they really that focused on trying to build up a center for the future?
No.
It doesn't look like it, you know what I mean? But, I mean, they went out and they traded back, which I was pissed about in the second round. But, you know, I started to learn about this Amari Williams kid. I watched him throughout the year.
Yeah.
And he looked pretty good with Kentucky, you know what I mean, with Coach Mark Pope. He looked good over there. So, you know, I'm not saying that he's the starting center of the future for the Celtics, right? I'm just saying that this kid is a talent that gets me excited for what the possibilities are for him in this Celtics system.
Luka Garza get you excited?
No.
Okay, so let's talk centers here.
Okay.
I mean, somebody's got to do it, right?
Yeah.
I told you, like, just for the record, rewind back to the first segment. Vucevic is who I want. That is the top of my wish list.
Yes.
Like, Santa, please bring me Vuce, okay?
Yep.
If you can't go that route, I'm going to give you a guy I have a little history with.
Okay.
Thomas Bryant. And I'm not saying he's the answer. Stay with me.
Why does his name keep coming up?
Because
go ahead.
Here's why. First of all, let's start with recent. I liked the role he played with the Pacers.
Yeah.
I thought he did really well.
Yeah.
He was energy. By the way, this has been his whole career.
Yes.
He was energy.
Yes.
He's
did
a
it with the
big
Wizards.
body.
He did it with the Lakers.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a big body. He is athletic. I like Thomas Bryant, and I think the fit here would work because of the culture here. He's a likable guy. Now, when I say I have history, I covered him with the Wizards.
Yep.
And with the Wizards, you know, at that time, the expectations were high for him. That was your first mistake, okay?
Right.
That's not who he is. He's a role player. He's a role-playing big. And he can be that here, but I think here he would get more playing time, and what he does bring to the lineup is needed. I think they need an athletic big. I think they need someone who brings that kind of energy. I think they need someone who's been on a winning team. He knows what that looks like coming off the Pacers run.
Right.
And he played really well down the stretch for them.
He did.
In his role.
Yes.
I like Thomas Bryant as far as depth and as far as you just need someone like that now. If you're just throwing, right now, what it feels like to me, front court wise, they're just throwing bodies out there. Okay, well, why the hell not add a Thomas Bryant who is another body, but he's someone who fits here and I think could bring some value to the Celtics. You hate it.
Yeah, I do.
Why?
I do.
Why?
And the reason that I hate it is just like I don't see Thomas Bryant as something that's going to get them over the hump. You know what I'm saying?
No, of course
I
not.
don't see him accepting that low of money. Like you said, he just went on a championship run.
Might be looking to get paid.
He's going to be looking probably to get paid a little bit here. You got to think about this dude is 27 now. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't gotten that contract yet.
No, he
He's
hasn't.
been around these winning teams now. He was with Denver. You know what I mean? After the year that they won the championship.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? He was with Miami, you know, and they've always been kind of a winning culture, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Now I'm with Indiana. You know, I'm at this point where I'm like, he's going to be searching for money. I don't think he's in it for, you know, a win or championship or anything like that. I think he's trying to get paid.
Well, he could get time here, though. Like, if it's, let's have this combo
So
real
what,
quick.
2-year deal?
Well, before we even get to the financials, I'm saying if he's a big picture thinker, right? I would go to Boston because A, it's the Celtics, and you have a chance to win, of course. But B, you this year in particular, you're gonna get burned. You're gonna get run.
Yeah.
So big picture thinker, okay, I can win. It's a high profile, one of those ones in terms of organizations and franchises. High profile, big stage. And I'm going to get minutes, which can then lead me to the bag. I think right now, possibly, could be a little premature for him to think what I've done with Indiana is going to get me a bag. In fact, if I remember properly, against the Knicks, he was great.
Yeah.
I don't have many Thomas Bryant memories in the finals. No disrespect. But the Knicks series, he stands out in my head.
Yes.
I could be wrong. Check the numbers on that. I'm sure they will in the comments.
Yeah.
But with that being said, it's not like he went out and had a great series against the Thunder. But it could be premature for him to think I'm going to get a bag yet. But then again, everyone in the NBA who literally has any size on him at all is getting a bag. So I could be tripping on that.
Yes, he's also expanded his game out to 3. He took a 1-year deal this year with the Pacers.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So he was clearly looking to show, hey, I can shoot the 3, I can do this, I can do that. This was a prove-it year for him.
You're right. He's going to want to
And he's going to feel like he proved it.
Yeah, you're right.
But, okay, you're talking
You're right.
free agency. I'm going to talk trade with you.
Okay. Yes, the answer is yes. Jenny, ISO, yes. I don't give a damn who you name. You could tell me old man Shaq right now.
Okay.
Yes.
So what about this? What about Nick Claxton? What about trading for him? Loserville
I stand
with Brooklyn. Loserville with Brooklyn.
I stand corrected.
But this is what everything that you want in a big right now. Vertical, athletic, above the rim, rebounds.
What's his money?
Block shots.
What's the money situation?
He's just under. This would be for Simons, possibly.
Okay.
I think he's a depreciating. He's a depreciating contract, so it goes down every year.
Yeah.
Which is a contract that you would like, knowing that Tatum's money's going to get bigger every year. JB's money's going to get bigger every year. He's about $24 million right now.
How did we get here, man?
Depreciate. Well, 25 this year, 23 the next year, 20 the year after that.
How did this happen?
What? You don't like Nick Claxton?
Yeah, fine. The answer is yes. I'd make the trade.
Okay. So fine. You don't like Nick Claxton.
I don't.
Hold on. No. You don't like Nick Claxton being the Boston Celtics. You're not in love with it. That's the honest truth.
Yeah.
Okay then. So who looks the most ready to start for this team then?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right.
Give me that.
Claxton, come on down.
No. Stay with me. Who looks the most ready?
No one.
We haven't seen Williams play a game yet.
I'd still give him the start.
Garza hasn't played a game in the Celtics jersey
I've seen enough in other jerseys. Not interested.
Queta
was
the young guy that we were hoping that would come along. And defensively, he never just came along. He faded in the playoffs because of it.
Tillman, no.
And
None
Tillman
of them.
hasn't played here for whatever reason.
None.
I like Tillman, but I just don't think he fits whatever the Boston Celtics are
I'll
trying to
take
do.
the youngster.
So you're going to start Williams?
Yes.
And you haven't even seen him play a game?
Exactly.
Okay, well, we're going to see him play this
But
week.
I don't hate Simons, Claxton works financially.
Okay, so then, yes.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
So then Simons and Claxton.
Yeah,
Simons for
I don't hate
Claxton.
it.
Like,
Okay, hold on. Would you rather have Claxton over Vuce? Because I'd rather have Vuce.
No, I would rather have Claxton.
Okay.
I mean,
that's where we differ.
100%. We're talking about a 26-year-old.
Yeah, my guy's old. Right. Old man River.
And like I said, a depreciating contract that's going to be here with JB.
My guy's more consistent.
And JT. We don't need him to do anything. We need him to freak. You don't need throw it in, hit a 15-footer. That's not the Celtics game. You know what I'm saying?
You're saying that athleticism,
who's gonna set that screen, roll hard as heck to the rim.
He can do.
Force defenders to freaking collapse. And
What's
then
his defense?
He's a good defender.
All right.
He's a good defender. He's played with the Nets, though. Like, they didn't have nothing. They had Cam Johnson out there.
Right.
And then Cam Thomas, who's still a free agent right now because he doesn't guard a lick or do anything on the defensive end either. They had a bunch of...
They're a bad defensive team.
Right. They had mixed-matched guys out there. They are a horrible defensive team.
They're a horrible team.
Some really good defenders. Some bad defenders.
Right.
Keon Johnson being one of the really good defenders.
Yes.
You know, and some bad defenders like Cam Thomas.
I don't hate your trade.
This dude's, he's going to, with Tatum and Brown, all you got to do is.
And he's young.
Roll to the rim, block shots. He's showing the ability that he's getting better with his free throw making, so dudes can't just foul him and do whatever.
But you see
He's a good player.
you see where we differ a little? Like hearing you kind of paint the picture for me, and it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You're still thinking long term, which makes sense, and that's probably what Brad Stevens is doing. I'm thinking about next season. So I'm in love with the Vuce idea of I can pencil in 19 and 10 a night, and I don't look like trash in the front court.
Yes.
Whereas then you have to figure out, okay, but then he's a free agent, and he's 36 by then or whatever. So you got to figure that out. Whereas with your scenario, the finances work now. Yeah. So does Vuce, but the finances work now and they work long term.
Right.
And it's a young guy who can grow within your system.
100%.
I can't knock it. I see the vision.
25 last year, averaged 10 points a game.
I see the vision.
I understand what you're saying, but he's getting better. He's getting better.
He is.
He's growing. Hopefully the free throw numbers keep to climb and he gets more touch and he can do some more things around the basket. Sure. But realistically, with the Celtics team, they weren't doing things around the basket anyways. Al Horford's getting a rebound, they were kicking out. You know what I mean?
No, that's fair.
KP was getting a rebound, he was kicking out. Like, it is what it is.
There's another glaring need to it, point guard. Do you have any more big men, or can I move to point guard?
You can start with point guard.
All right, so here's the deal. We all love Peyton Pritchard around here. Yes. We do. I want to like lead with that.
Yes.
However, I mean, let's assume he's your starting point guard next season. You're going to need to figure out the production at the six man.
Yes.
And also, what if he struggles as your starting point guard?
Yeah.
So not only do you need a really solid backup, but you need someone that if Pritch struggles, you can say, nope, Pritch, you're going back to the bench and you're in, whoever you are.
Yeah.
With that being said, I don't want any, and this is so opposite of who I am. I always want the big names.
Yeah.
But because of the scenario here that we just laid out, and it's fair how I laid it out, right? Because of that, I'm not interested in a CP3.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in a Russell Westbrook, who's still available. I'm not interested in any of these big name dudes. I kind of like Cameron Payne. And the reason why is because he's not a pain in the arse.
Okay. So
he's
you
a good
free
team.
agency.
Yes.
Okay.
He's and I like that you're going the trade angle, but I'm thinking who's available to me, okay? He should work financially. Mm-hmm. He's not a pain in the arse. He's never been a me guy. Teammates like him.
Yeah.
He's okay as a shooter.
Yeah.
He's a good defender.
Yeah.
I like Cameron Payne, and I think he's a kind of player you can bring in. He'll fit into your culture.
Yeah.
He'll be a backup. Mm-hmm. And then if you have to start him, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
If you send Pritchard back to the bench and he's your starter. Yeah. He's a capable, what's the word I'm looking for? Serviceable point guard in the NBA. Starter or backup.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
That's fair.
Okay.
I like campaign. I think he's done a lot of great things. I think he's a winner. I think he brings a lot of the things that Brad is asking for.
He works.
Winning. Fighter,
defense.
Claw. He's Boston energy. You know what I'm saying? He's a FU energy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a good fit.
So I would agree with that. I'm going to give you a trade really quick.
Okay. All right.
We've been talking about trading Simons all day. So we'll figure out the money with this one.
Okay.
Simons and either Hauser or Tillman.
All right. I'm good with this so far.
Sign and trade for Josh Giddey.
I said Giddey a while ago, like maybe during the season. And everyone went off on me.
Yeah.
But it wasn't for basketball. It was because of who he is.
Yeah.
Okay? And that matters.
That matters.
Because these are all good guys here.
Right.
They're all good dudes.
Yes.
And that does matter.
They brought in Niang, so I don't even care about any of that. Looks like they're going to keep bro. So go ahead. Good dudes, likable, all this, whatever.
You couldn't just.
I'm just saying, like, clearly that it doesn't matter that much, right? Like, they don't like him, and he's on the team right now.
We couldn't go one show without taking shots at Niang, dog.
Go, bro. Go.
You just couldn't help yourself, dog.
Go, bro.
Look, I like his game. I like his game.
Yeah.
And I think he works here. But if I'm not mistaken, he's expensive. I don't have the numbers in front of me.
So he's looking for about, I think I've heard he's looking for 30.
Yeah, no, it's not going to work.
He's a restricted free agent. I think he's going to settle around 25 to 28. But I'm saying we're playing Simons for 27.
Yeah, but you're trying to move that.
But but like if we can get him for 25, hey, bro, you want to play in Boston, blah, blah, blah.
Maybe that's where I don't believe. I don't think
Chicago might match and say,
you're not getting him for
20. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think 25 is a real number. I don't think it's happening. I think he wants to get paid, which I respect. And someone will pay it.
Yes.
Celtics won't. I guess in your scenario.
But that's why I also added Hauser, because Hauser would open up another $10 million.
Would.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I said Simons and Hauser for Giddey.
Okay.
That would open up another.
Okay, let's have this combo real quick.
Right.
So I like Campaign because Campaign can be my starter or he can come off the bench.
Yes.
You with me?
Yep.
If you trade for Giddey, I mean, I'm sorry, Peyton Pritchard's not your starter.
Yeah, he's coming off the bench, which is good for me. I'm looking for the future. You see the way that I'm building it. I'm trying to build for Tatum's back.
Aren't we going into this assuming he's your starting point guard?
I'm not.
I think the Celtics are.
You can, but that's what I mean. Yeah, Brad said that Peyton has been doing great in his work ethic and all that other stuff. We listened to him talk about it last episode, but
sounds like a starter.
I personally don't think Peyton's ready to be a starter in the NBA, and so I would like to have Josh Giddey. You have 6'6", he's defense switchable.
He's a starter.
Playmaker. He's shot 37% from three last year.
Please don't think I'm disagreeing with you.
Okay.
Because if you get Josh Giddey, that's my starter.
Yeah.
Right?
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with Peyton coming off the bench? He did it. He's 6 man of the year.
Even hearing Brad talk, it does feel like Peyton Pritchard's going to get an opportunity to start. And I think if you trade for Josh Giddey, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's necessarily fair to Pritchard. That's why I'm saying you need to get someone who can be a backup and is a serviceable starter in case. You with me? In case of emergency, break glass.
Right.
Boom. And you send Pritchard back to the bench. If you get a Giddey, Pritchard's not even going to sniff the starting lineup. That's where I'm at. And I'm not saying it's going to cause a rift, but Pritchard could feel a type of way. He could. And maybe he should. Listen, with next season, we're already punting. Like, it's already a punt. Why not give the kid an opportunity to start?
I don't think you're punting if you're
if you get Giddey, you're not.
You have a Giddey, you have Derek White, you have Jaylen Brown.
Then you're not punting.
This ain't that don't sound like a punt to me.
I would agree with that.
That sounds like a 5 seed in the East.
Yeah,
Solidified.
maybe higher in the East.
Maybe higher.
Maybe.
Right.
I don't hate it.
With moves to go at the big, hopefully Chris Boucher, Al, if you want to come back,
I think
some minimum deals.
It's not going to happen.
Deals,
it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I think I brought up Giddey at the deadline. Maybe that's what it was, and everyone just went after me.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, we're doing all this like fantasy basketball stuff. There is real basketball being played right now in the Summer League. We'll talk about Summer League next here on Hold My Banner. Roll with us. Welcome back to Hold My Banner. Friday afternoon, it's time for some Summer League hoops with your Boston Celtics. We are fired up for it. So let's talk Summer League here.
Yeah.
Hey, everywhere you look right now, the hottest ticket in Vegas for Summer League.
Yeah.
Bronny against Cooper Flagg in a clash of the Titans. Look at these ticket prices, Ountae. This is insane in the membrane. $2,500, the most expensive Summer League game of all time. Now, everyone's billing this as Cooper Flagg against Bronny, but can we be honest? This is about Cooper Flagg.
Yeah.
Bronny's he's there.
Yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do with no damn Bronny. This is about Coop.
This is about Coop, and Bronny brings a little bit of cachet. I saw him playing in those games in Golden State this weekend, and he was getting some, people were all excited about him getting steal and a dunk and all this other stuff. But yeah, we're talking about the number one pick. This dude is supposed to be generational. That's what everyone's telling me, right?
That's what they say.
So we're gonna find out tonight. That's for sure.
We're gonna learn tonight.
It's all right. It's the first game. It's the first Summer League game. I'm not putting too much stock into it.
Well, I actually saw all the debuts for these star Summer League games, with the exception of LeBron, who's LeBron. Most guys don't play that long, but they get in long enough where you see flashes. Zion comes to mind. Wemby comes to mind. They don't play many minutes. They get in, show you, hey, I can score, I can rebound, couple block shots. You're out of there, right? I anticipate that for Cooper Flagg. LeBron's the only one, and this is just off the top of my head. LeBron is the only one that came out first Summer League game, and you were like, oh, he's ready.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Who?
Ben Simmons' Summer League was kind of.
I don't remember. Debut?
All of his games, he was kind of.
Oh well, yeah.
All of the Summer League games, he was going. Because he was showing us the mid-range and stuff too. We thought, there might be something there. But nevertheless.
By the way, he's still available point guard.
Yeah, I'm actually. I saw that. I am kind of interested in that.
Just saying.
We might talk about that on a different episode. But what matchups are you looking forward to other than obviously Bronny and them this weekend?
No, I mean, no one really matchup-wise. I'm looking at players, really. Like,
okay.
I don't ever go into Summer League and think, I can't wait to see this player go against that player.
Yeah.
I always look at the rookies.
Yes.
So the entire rookie class I'm interested in seeing. But matchup-wise, I don't care. I mean, Summer League, for me, if we're being honest, we're all family here, I like to gamble. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm not too good to tell you.
Yeah.
I bet Summer League games. What do I care?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the action. So I generally want to see players.
Okay.
Year two guys, rookies. That's what I'm into.
Yeah.
Cooper Flagg, obviously.
I can't lie. I'm excited for a couple matchups. Cooper Flagg versus Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper on Saturday. I'm excited for that one. That'll be a good matchup. One versus two, which we're normally supposed to get in the first night, 1 versus 2. I don't know why they're putting Bronny.
Because it's Bronny. What do you mean?
Instead, I'm also really excited because I know we've talked about the Hawks in their offseason as well.
Yeah.
I want to see Ace and Newell versus Kilo Ware. That's going to be a good matchup.
That
Two
is.
7-foot bigs, athletic, obviously can kind of tasked to do a lot of the similar things in the draft coming in. They were supposed to be guys who could shoot it out to the three-point line, who could put it on the deck a little bit. Obviously, Khalil Ware being more of a center and Noel being more of a power forward. But I would like to see these two clash, and they're clashing on Friday night, so that's going to be a good
Friday
one
night
as well.
after a Celtics game.
Yeah.
Ace Bailey, Derek Queen, shout-outs to Baltimore.
Yeah, those are going to be great.
Dylan Harper, you mentioned Edgecombe. Like all the rooks I like seeing. Second-year guys I have my eye on. Rob Dillingham, who has been playing really well so far in Summer League.
Yeah.
That's a guy, I don't know why he didn't get more playing time last season.
Yeah.
But I would think moving forward, especially with what we're seeing now, it's still early.
Yep.
But that's someone who should be in the rotation. Like, I get it. Anthony Edwards, you got all the stars, right? That's someone who should get some minutes with the Timberwolves. So I want to see him throughout the Summer League. Can he be consistent from what we've seen so far?
100%. He was the guy that I had noted too. Just because I want to see the defensive implements. You know what I mean?
Is that why he didn't play much?
I feel like that is. You know what I mean? They had Mike Conley. They had the vet. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's these two things, defense and playmaking. He's able to make plays for himself.
He can score, right.
And he does pass the ball, and he can pass the ball.
Yeah.
But can he be a facilitator? There's a difference, right? There's the ability to pass the ball, and there's guys that get it done, right? Conley has always been a dude over his NBA career that got it done, right? He made sure LA ate. He made sure Zebo ate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He made sure these guys ate when he was with them.
Yeah.
Can Dillingham play a secondary role and make sure guys like Anthony Edwards eat? They're going to be paying attention to that.
You always use a term that has stuck to my ribs now, getting to know you and doing the show with you over the years, of winning basketball plays. That's what you're describing.
Right.
Like, can you make winning basketball plays? Here's another guy. And we talked about him a lot rookie season, and he didn't play much. Reed Shepherd.
Yeah.
That's someone I want to see in Summer League play really well and almost be, I'm going to use this word, but it is Summer League, so I don't want to be too dramatic here.
Yeah.
But, like, I need him to be undeniable so he can kind of break into the rotation for who I think could be a finals team in the Rockets.
Yeah.
That's someone who should be coming off your bench in a defined role and helping you as a rotational player. I think he has a skill set to do it, but I need to see him do it in Summer League. He's got to go out and hoop.
I think this is going to be a Peyton Pritchard kind of upbringing for Reed Shepherd. You know what I mean?
I don't love that.
There's going to be a lot of, hey, this guy could be good, this guy could be good, and everyone in Boston Nation or Houston Nation understand that this guy can play. But because of the guards and the things that they have in front of him, he's not going to really get as many opportunities. I'm just being honest.
I don't like that.
I would like to see Reed Shepherd ball out, but I think the Rockets already know what they have in him. Two guys that I wanted to know really quickly.
Who?
Devin Carter from Providence.
Yeah.
He didn't play. We talked about the Kings earlier. You know, he didn't play his rookie year, so now he's got to show us the opportunity of who he is.
He's going to get a lot of minutes now.
Right. He's got to introduce us to who he is. And then the other guy that I think really needs to step up, especially with the off-season issues that his team is having, is Ron Holland with the Pistons.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, Malik Beasley is doing what he's doing, right, and dealing with the things that he's dealing with, they're looking for guys who are going to come in and play defense and score.
Yeah.
Can Ron Holland develop the jumper enough to give the Pistons confidence that he's going to be able to play alongside Asar Thompson and some of these other guards that are not really haven't figured it out yet? Can he be in that rotation? Can he solidify himself? This summer league is important for him in that.
I'm going to give you two guys on the same team that I had my eye on, only because they traded a loser out of there. I have never been a big Jordan Poole guy, as you know. I thought, I know Draymond punched him out in Golden State, I get it, but I still thought it would be smart for him to stay there. Instead, he goes to the Wizards, he gets a bag, and he stinks. He's a loser. I'm sorry. So they moved off of him. So now I'm looking at Bub Carrington, and I'm looking at Alex Sarr. And I want to see now, like, can they sort of elevate? Because they've showed you flashes. They can both play. I think the Wizards have a really young nucleus that can work over the years. But I want to see if these two guys in particular, who are the best out of that young nucleus, can take the next step now that Poole is out of there. Does that make sense? I want to see if these young guys can step up and lead, get minutes, and be productive.
100%. And that brings me to the non-Celtic rookies not named Cooper Flagg, because we're going to watch Cooper Flagg. We're going to watch the Celtics rookies. You brought up Fears and Queen. I can already check them off the list. I'm excited to watch them as well.
Especially Queen.
You're talking about pairs, Concanipple and Liam McNeely. I want to watch those two play for the Hornets and see if they can help LaMelo in this upcoming season.
Man, the Hornets, bro.
Yeah.
When's it going to work? They have a lot of young talent already. And it just doesn't translate.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a conversation for another time, because we gotta play a game, dog.
Oh boy. Okay.
Time to play a game.
Coming up here on Hold My Banner, it's game time with Ountae, who's gonna be sensational. Me, disaster. You don't want to miss it. Keep it locked here on Hold My Banner. Welcome back to Hold My Banner. It's time for game time with Tay. What do we got, player?
Yeah, we got a game called Poeltl. Shout out NBPA for this game.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to basically figure out the player that they are thinking of. We have 8 total guesses.
All right.
And we got it right here up on the screen for you. Here's
and we can ask them questions? Is that how this works?
No, so we just guess a player. You start out by guessing the player, all right?
Any player?
Any player, dog.
Jason Tatum.
All right, Jason Tatum it is.
I'm going all Celtics, just so you know.
That's not how this is going to work. All right. So this means that this is not from Boston.
I can't even
Not
see.
in the East.
All right.
Not with the Atlantic Division. And they're around the guard forward, height under 6'8", age under 27, and their number is higher than 0.
You do the next one.
Okay, so we got to think about somebody in the West who's younger than Jason Tatum. What about Amin Thompson? Let's do that.
It's a nice little guess there.
Okay. So still a little bit.
Green is good?
Good. They're from the Green. They do not play with Houston. They're on the Western Conference. They're like a swing. They've in the Southwest Division, forward, under 6'7", just slightly, over 22.
Kevin Durant.
No, under 27, dog, over 22, because Jason Tatum's 27. So it's like somebody who's like 26.
Under 27.
And they don't play for Houston. They don't play for Houston.
Oh, okay. You can tell I can't. I don't even understand the rules. You do the next one.
Oh, my God. You put me on the spot,
I'm already confused.
Let's see. Who is Western Conference?
Western Conference, under 27, but over 22.
Jaden McDaniels? I don't know. Let's see.
Try it. I was going to say Dylan Brooks, but I think he's older. All right, what we got here?
Oh, so it's in the Southwest Division. I forgot that. Okay, so over 24, number lower than 3, or is number 1. They're number 1.
What's this game called again?
Poeltl. You got me sweating.
Poeltl, you got me on hurdles.
Southwest, number 1. Memphis, Pelicans.
Dallas,
Zion?
Spurs.
Zion? Is it Zion?
It can't be Zion.
Zion?
Try Zion. That's actually a good guess. Because how old is Zion? He looked 47, but he young.
Oh.
Wait,
You
was
were
it
right.
Zion?
It's Zion. Let's go.
Let's go!
I was like number 1, dog.
Hey,
number
how did
1.
we do that?
Yeah, so number 1, Zion. Yeah. Ooh.
I'm not going to lie. This game had me fighting for my life. I was getting cooked.
All right, so yeah, Zion Williamson. Let's talk about bro for a little bit.
Wow, what is there to talk about? Lord,
how do you think his
mercy.
upcoming season is going to go, dog?
Man, I don't want to talk about his season. We need to talk about his career. The question now is, I'm not even playing.
Yeah.
Is Zion the biggest draft bust of all time? And I don't think that's a hot take or an unfair question.
Oh, boy.
Because that's exactly what the hell I'm asking about him. He's never in shape.
Yep.
He can't stay healthy. He has off-the-court issues.
Yes.
Everything has gone wrong for Zion. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm at the point now where I'm honest. I think we could look back on this and he could be a trivia answer. Who's the greatest draft bust of all time?
Okay.
And he's the answer.
All right.
And there could be 30 for 30s made of this.
You're doing too much.
No, I'm not.
No, Kwame Brown still exists.
He didn't have the hype as Zion.
Anthony Bennett still exists.
Did not have the hype as Zion.
Greg Oden still exists.
Did not. Well, he had hype, but he didn't have the hype of Zion. This dude was supposed to take. There were people who suggested, and I'm one of them, so I remember, that he could be the face of the league eventually.
He was on the cover of 2K.
Hello.
So at some point he kind of was the face of the league.
That's all I'm saying. I think it's a fair question, and at this point for him, he could be the biggest draft bust of all time. How's he going to turn this ship around?
You're right. He's got to figure out a way. And Joe Dumars is putting in trust in him and saying that he believes that Zion can get it corrected.
That's a lot of trust.
Well, we talked about respecting the elders and all that other stuff in this episode.
Yeah.
When Joe Dumars says, hey, bro, stop eating the crab cakes.
Yeah. Beignets,
you know what I mean? Beignets.
Crawfish.
Yeah.
King cake.
Put it down. Stop messing with the nefarious stars.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Stop doing that. We need to get you locked in on basketball. I think he might listen. That's all I'm saying.
He might. And that's the thing. The elders are coming to him with the right advice.
Yes.
The question is, can he stop?
Yeah.
Okay? He has not stayed healthy. He has not been in shape. He has not stopped the nefarious activity.
Right.
So that suggests to me that he may not stop. And if that's the case, I'm not doing too much. He could be the greatest draft bust of all time. That's what we're talking about. If he can turn around the ship and stay out of trouble and get in shape and stay healthy, then he could turn it around.
Well,
if not, it's a wrap.
At least they finally have put talent around him out there in New Orleans. So hopefully having that talent around, seeing guys who rose and fell like Jordan Poole, maybe you'll get them in the right spot.
Maybe. That's a wrap for us here on Hold My Banner. Until next time when we ask you to hold it again, Travis Thomas, the walking, talking triple-double himself, Ountae Campbell. Peace.